नया IBM 7 हौसला है।
रिलायंस इंडस्ट्री के चेयरमैन मुकेश अंबानी के मुताबिक भारत ने न सिर्फ घरेलू बल्कि विदेशी मुद्दों को भी तय कर दिया है। भरोसे का लौटना देश में सबसे बड़ा बदलाव है और लाचारी का दौर अब खत्म हो चुका है। मुकेश अंबानी से खास बातचीत की CNBC की टीवी 18 की मैनेजिंग एडिटर शिरीन भान ने।
2014 has been a lucky year for India. Right? If we think about 2004 to 2014, oil prices went from literally $20 to $140. And we now are, I think, on the horizons of $60, $70 oil prices. Yep. And that really is a gift, right, of nearly $35, $40 billion from what we are used to a year. So if this continues for 2 years, it's a gift from the world. Last few years we paid a penalty, but going forward it's a gift to us. The third piece that really works in our favor is that, it's really the US and India that for a variety of reasons have fixed their both external and internal cycles. The Chinese are slowing down and will slow down further. I clearly see that with both inflows as well as internal stability, we will gradually increase our growth rate. And I have no doubt in my mind that we will be the fastest growing economy in the world in the next 2 or 3 years. We will exceed China's growth rate. And
in the next 2 to 3 years?
In the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, we will get back to saying that India is the fastest growing economy in the world 2016, 17, 17, 18, and then we will check with you whether we were right or not then.
Well, we certainly hope that happens. But, coming back to the point, and let me labor on this for a little bit, because you said that India's got the greatest gift because you've actually seen crude prices fall so sharply, and I'll get to that question in a bit. But if I were to ask you to articulate for us, what is the one big change that you've seen this government do in the last 6 months that it's been in office? What would you say? What has been that one big thing, the one standout you believe that's changed sentiment so significantly?
I believe for all economies, it's confidence. And to my mind, confidence is the most important element. And I think that what we've got back at the individual level, at the institutional level, and at the government overall piece is that confidence has come back. The spirit of helplessness, the spirit of saying, yep, we know what to do, but we cannot do it, has gone away. So I think across, and confidence is the most important thing, and I think that both internal and external confidence has come back to India.
I haven't heard a convincing or an entirely convincing argument on what is actually led to the kind of upswing that we saw in crude prices and the kind of collapse that we've seen as far as crude prices are concerned. Shale supremacy, the OPEC wanting to maintain its dominance, supply-demand mismatch, the US. What exactly is going on as far as crude is concerned? And, where do you actually see prices headed?
Clearly on a demand-supply parity, I think that we are marginally oversupplied. And the very fact that Saudi Arabia refused to cut in the OPEC, and a lot of us in the oil industry watched that. Kerry visited Saudi Arabia many times, and there are all kinds of theories doing the round that right now the economic supremacy is the biggest supremacy. So if we want to teach Iran and Russia and Venezuela, the 3 countries that rely on oil revenues the most, oil price of $65, $70 does it. The Saudis have decided not to cut, which is unusual. And so it's a combination of political and demand and supply.
What's the theory you're buying?
I think it's a combination. And I think the theory that I buy is that this is the right price for India. And for 1 billion people, a $60 to $70 price is a good price, and that's where it should have been. I have always wondered as to why it went to 120 or 130. Right. And we should also remember that among nations, we now as the Indian subcontinent are the only part of the world where 1 billion people live, where we are reliant on 85% of our energy on imports.
So do you see prices falling significantly from these levels, or do you believe that some stability is going to return to the market? We've seen a slight pullback today, but is it here to stay, or do you believe we're going to see prices
Well, again,
move?
I am a big believer in technology. I am a big believer in productivity, and you know, by and large, I think that if we unleash human talent on a problem, we can solve it. So I think that there will be more shale, we will be able to reduce costs, right? We will be able to push things. So in the long run, we will still find oil, and with a robust demand, it should grow. So I still think that at all times, I've always said that between 65 and 75 is the is my version of the right price of oil, but I'm never right, so take me with that pinch of salt.